So, if you're just a heads up, if you're a student and you're trying to use this as educational sources to go over the Berlin Wall, I wouldn't really recommend it. There are better videos out there, and there are better websites to go learn about the Berlin Wall. But if you're my history teacher right now and you're watching this, I am a historian, and everything in here is 100% factual and accurate. Also, you're my favorite teacher, and I should totally get an A.
Grilled cheese sandwich!
Okay, so this is a Dean Drysdale going over the Berlin Wall, the rise and fall of the Berlin Wall. Hey, guess what? I'm going over the Berlin Wall if you didn't know. As if it wasn't obvious. You shut the hell up. The rise and fall of the Berlin Wall. On August 13th, 1961, the communist government of the German Democratic Republic, GDR, began to build a barbed wire concrete anti-fascist Schutzwall, or anti-fascist bulwark, between East and West Berlin. The official purpose of this Berlin Wall was to keep so-called Western fascists from entering East Germany and undermining the socialist state. The Berlin Wall stood until November 9th, 1989, when the head of the East Germany communists announced that citizens of the GDR could cross the border whenever they pleased. That night, ecstatic crowds swarmed the wall, some crossed freely into West Berlin, while others brought hammers and picks and began to chip away at the wall itself. And in some articles, well, in some of them, David Bowie's given a tiny bit of credit, just a itty bitty bit. He, like, not for the reason the wall fell down. He was kind of just like, oh, the wall should come down. He's not the main reason it fell down. He's not. He's just giving a little credit though. Just telling you that. David Bowie, he is given a little credit for helping the fall of the wall. During his song Heroes in a concert in Germany, people in East Berlin gathered near the wall and started singing. The people of West Berlin heard and joined them. After the concert, 200 people charged the wall trying to escape. Between 1961 and 1989, at least 140 people were killed or died at the wall. 101 people tried to flee through the border. 30 people from East and West were not trying to escape or not trying to flee. One Soviet soldier was shot or died by accident. 8 on-duty GDR border soldiers were killed by military deserters. At least 251 travelers also died passing through checkpoints. People tried to escape through tunnels, Trojan cows. It's kind of like the Trojan horse, but it's with a cow with its stomach emptied out. So that's kind of gross. Didn't they do that in Star Wars? I don't know. People tried to escape through tunnels, Trojan cows, bus cars, and zip lines. And some people hid where the engines of cars were, or trunks of cars. And there's an image out there of a man and his wife and his children. He's like trying to smuggle them into, I think, West Berlin. I don't know. Ronald Reagan demanded the destruction of the Berlin Wall in a speech on June 12th, 1987. Speaking at the Brandenburg Gate in West Berlin, Reagan challenged Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down this wall as a sign of openness and freedom. The wall fell 2 years later on November 9th, 1989. So, here are some important dates about the Berlin Wall and then some important people. So, important dates. August 13th, 1961, the beginning of the Berlin Wall. June 12th, 1987, Ronald Reagan's speech and demand for the Berlin Wall to come down. November 9th, 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall. October 3rd, 1990, Germany finally reunited. Now, here are some important people, and please forgive me, I will butcher these names. So, Walter Verbrecht, East German leader who pressured Moscow to allow the closure of the wall. Nikita Khrushchev, Soviet premier who gave the final permission for the East German government to build the wall. Eric Honker. I don't know. He was in charge of construction of the wall. Eric Makeley, head security and surveillance of the wall. And my sources are history.com and EBSCO. Now, here are some guided questions. So, why did this happen? How long has it been going on? And did anyone try to stop or change things? Why was the Berlin Wall built? It was built because it was to stop the flow of East German citizens fleeing into the capitalist West. How long was the Berlin Wall up? Over 28 years. Did anyone try to stop it? Yes, many citizens tried seeking help and freedom from international political leaders and border guards. Now, how was the Berlin Wall perceived by other people, specifically by the Soviets? They viewed the wall as necessary, but kind of regrettable and evil after. The Americans, they viewed the wall as a profound symbol of communist oppression and a global struggle for freedom. Now, by me, what do I think of the Berlin Wall? I genuinely think it is extremely sad to think about because, families and loved ones, they were split apart because there's a wall between them. Like, your family member could be in East Berlin and you could be in West Berlin. And it would be extremely hard to go see them. Like, my teacher used this example today in class. There could be a graduation going on in, I don't know, West Berlin, and you're in East Berlin. How are you going to get across? You're going to have to, you know, do a month advance and be like, oh, hey, I got a graduation going on. Can I go see it? Most likely not. Think about that. Think, like, your loved one's going to graduate. You can't go see them because of a freaking wall. Like, it was so stupid, but so sad at the same time. Like, it's Berlin. It shouldn't be East and West. It's just Berlin. Now, did the event increase or decrease tensions between the U.S. and the Soviet Union? The wall increased tensions dramatically by physically blocking or locking East Germans into the communist sector. Now, in what ways does this event policy represent? Containment, expansionism, detente. I should not have dropped French. Detente, brinkmanship, deterrence, or alignment. There may be more than one. I think containment fits this one the best because we're, containing all of the, communists in East Berlin, and I don't know, but I think that's it really. But yeah, that's it, y'all.
The way you move, the way you feel. One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love.